was a real antique when I was a kid, and I still haven't put it down.
She's all, man, I sure do miss that lamp.
That's my brother's fault.
Oh,
What did you guys think, by the way?
It went fine. I think it's perfect. Then you just
yeah, they're good.
conceptualize it, do a DAP note, upload it all, you'll be good to go. I think it worked well.
Thanks. I didn't do the Nemesis, whatever it's called, Nemesis,
Yeah, but
where I adopted your.
Well, your body.
no. But you can't. But you don't even know how the actors are gonna. You did the important part. You touched each one of us individually. You just defined the system's definition of the problem.
Was I a little crazy? I was
No,
getting a little out there.
No, it's good. I mean, it's good to have.
It's just like you,
That's
Denise.
a drunk. That's really a drunk woman.
Right now.
You probably needed another bottle of wine. No, it was
So-
good. Thank you.
You are.
I'm Geraldine.
Geraldine.
The only thing we need to get straight is Geraldine is out for how long? Just out of
I'm gonna
jail.
say 2 weeks.
Couple weeks.
A couple weeks you've been out of jail. That's it.
Your grandma. Right?
And the reason she's involved is like, whatever. She's just.
Are you on the video still, David?
Try not to make me laugh too much.
Because I actually, when I moved closer, I was blocking.
Oh, okay.
So not you were. So.
Okay.
So okay.
Okay, go. All right. Well, welcome everybody to your first session. I'm Jessica Ellis, the counselor. Just to sort of give you the format for the day, I really want to get to know each of you and sort of your individual perspectives on what's going on in your family, and learn why you're here today. So, is there anyone that would like to begin?
Well, I don't know why I'm here, to be honest with you.
Because you're part of this family. Whether you want to be or not.
Well, I don't feel like part of the family.
Well, Jessica, my name's Terry. I guess the reason, one reason why we're here is basically to try and get the best out of it for Sherry, because I'm a little concerned. I mean, my daughter here has only been out of jail for a couple weeks. She's never really in the picture. She's never been in the picture for.
I don't agree with that.
Okay. Well, let's talk one at a time. So we'll let Terry speak, and then Geraldine, you can have.
Okay.
Well, I started taking care of Sherry, when she was a young girl.
And that was against my will, by the way.
It was necessary. Geraldine's had a problem for quite some time, and I did call social services because I was concerned. There was nothing, I couldn't just take Sherry right away, but I had to do something.
Geraldine, did you want to add to that?
Well, I was very upset when my mom did that. And I don't think it was justified. I mean, I was just kind of snorting some Coke every once in a while. And, I didn't think I was doing anything wrong, really. So, and then because of that, I got put in jail, too, because she reported me. So I'm not really happy. And I've been in and out of jail now for, I can't even count the number of years. And I blame it all on my mom. I mean, she's the one that started all this. If she would just let me alone and do my thing.
Well, and I understand that you're mad at me for me, reporting you, but every time you've been in jail after that, I haven't been reporting you every time after that, so what's your excuse
So
for
why
that?
are we here then?
Well,
Why am I even here?
I would like to check in with Sherry here and.
I mean, God, I thought we were here because of this whole festival thing, right? And I have been trying to tell my grandmother that was not my fault, that somebody slipped something in my drink. I get it that you were worried about me. I should have called you at 9 o'clock. I'm sorry I didn't call at 9 o'clock. But the fact that I ended up, maybe I could have guarded my drink better, but somebody put something in my drink. I got sick, got sent to the hospital. Everything was fine before then. I mean, none of that was my fault. I don't even understand why
That
my
same
mom
thing
is here.
happened to me. That's
I mean,
how I got busted.
I don't even know why my mom is here. It's like, I never hear from you unless you're in jail. You'll send me a letter or two, but whenever you're out, you're nowhere to be found. Am I right, Grandma? I mean, either you're just hitting Grandma up for money, you're in jail. I mean, you haven't been part of anything, and things were going just fine with Grandma and me, and I don't even understand why she's here.
Well,
I don't want to be.
I've,
I
I've,
could
I
leave
don't
right
want
now.
you to be here either. So
I've
can we
heard,
just?
I've heard three very, different, unique perspectives on several different family issues that you guys are working through. I would like to ask each one of you individually what it is that you would like to get out of our time here together.
Well, I'll start. The reason why, I wanted to come here is because I'm worried. I'm worried about Sherry a lot and her future. I guess you haven't heard the whole situation, but, we went, we had one night out where, it was me and her. And then she ran into some of her friends and wanted to, hang out with them, which is fine. I was a little hesitant towards it, which now I'm kind of,
How old
upset
is
that
she?
I didn't.
How old are you, by the way?
Oh, you don't even know how old I am? I'm 14. I mean, see, she doesn't even know how
Why
old
is he
I am.
drinking? She drinking?
That's
Who are you to talk about drinking and not drinking? I have a few drinks and smoke a little bit of weed with my friends.
I appreciate all of your differing opinions, and I want to give everybody the opportunity to speak. So if we can just take a minute and let Terry finish what she was saying, and then Geraldine and Sherry, you can have your opportunity to speak.
And like I was saying, she went with some of her friends and, didn't come home, didn't talk to me, didn't call, nothing. I was up worried sick till I get a call from the hospital that, she's in there with, needs her stomach pumped. And, I didn't even get a phone call. What concerns me is that she can't even tell me who she was with, who did this. She says, oh, someone slipped something in my drink. Why is it not a concern? Somebody slipped something in your drink, you're gonna be worried as to who did that, but she says it just nonchalant. Someone slipped something in my drink, and it reminds me of her own mother, just like you said, that happened to you. And I'll be honest, I don't want Sherry falling in the same footsteps as her mother.
So you noticed a pattern with her mother, and it's Sherry's experiences is sort of drawing back some of those feelings that you.
Yeah, it makes me worry that history could repeat itself.
Geraldine?
Yeah, I mean, I could see that, because my mom's the reason I started doing drugs, and now it's happening to my daughter. So, I don't know. I'm just, like I said, I'm just out. I'm trying to keep clean, and this is all very complicated for me. And, I don't know what else to say. But she's a lot to blame.
How am I to blame?
Because you would just nag me all the time, and keep telling me that I was hanging around with the wrong crowd. And so, made me feel guilty.
Sherry, how did
I mean, first of all, that's ridiculous. Grandma, I don't blame you for anything. I understand that I should have called you. This is just something that happened that was not in my control. Somebody put something in my drink. I recognize it's serious, and then I went to the hospital. My fault was that I didn't call you. I lost track of time. But the reason I didn't call you till super late is because I don't know. I don't remember what happened after someone put something in my drink. And I just think.
Well, one thing, he couldn't talk with a thing down his throat. How could he call you if he was having a
I thought
stroke?
we weren't going to interrupt each other here.
and then this is my fault. We've sort of gotten off track here again because we were Terry was explaining her motivation for being here today was to help Sherry with her, this incident that she had and her concern for your overall well-being. I'm not clear, Geraldine, what your goals are for counseling here, what you would like to get out of our time together.
I just want to stay out of jail.
So you would like to stay out of jail.
I'm really trying to stay off my stuff.
Okay. And so improvement seems to be a common denominator that you two share.
Yeah.
You both want better life either for yourself or for Sherry.
And I'd like to get to know Sherry more if she let me,
You'd like to reconnect with your daughter.
I guess, yeah.
What about you, Sherry?
I just want things to go back to the way they were before. I mean, everything was fine. I mean, I know, Grandma, you're always on my case about my friends, but those are my friends. I mean, I'm just brand new in high school. I finally met some people that I can hang out with. Just because, that's what kids do. They drink a little bit or they smoke a little bit. It doesn't mean we're all going to be addicts like Mom was or Mom is. I mean, I am not.
I am not an addict.
Well, I am not.
Sherry, when you say going back to the way it was before, can you share more about that?
Well, I mean, honestly, I don't even remember my mom. I mean, I must have been 5 or 6 years old or something. And, as far as I'm concerned, Grandma, you and Grandpa are my parents. I mean, my dad had moved away. I haven't even seen him, and I guess, since I was a little kid, but I don't remember. And I think things, were going just fine. And yeah, I mean, a couple of years ago, Grandpa died, and that was really hard. But, Grandma and I have always had a pretty good relationship. I think that, we helped each other through that. And, things were going along good. I think it's just, since I went to high school and my grandmother is just constantly on my case about this group of friends that I'm hanging out with. And I'm just, I get it. I'm 14 years old and she's just, trying to be a good parent to me. But there's no problem. I mean, this happened because somebody else put something in my drink. It's not anything I did. I forgot to call you. I mean, nobody's perfect. I just want things to go back to the way they were and everybody to stop making some big deal like I'm going to be on Skid Row and I'm going to be in jail like my mom was just because someone spiked my drink. I mean, I'm the victim here.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody is painted like, I did something to disrupt the family, but I just don't see that at all.
What I hear you saying is maybe you want some of the trust back that you had before.
And I want to believe you, I really do, but it's just, it's hard when you don't get a phone call except for from the hospital. And I understand that, yes, people make mistakes, but I feel like that this isn't the only one. And yes, I do nag you about your friends, but I feel like since my husband passed, he was kind of the opposite. He was the, kids will be kids, kind of more free-spirited, and I've always been more strict.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to find a good, evenness, I guess you could say, with that. But it's hard when, even you heard, Geraldine say, well, it was my friends, and, you bugged me about my friends. Maybe if I don't do that more so with my granddaughter, it worries me quite a bit.
I think, Terry, that you picked up on something that it sounds like Geraldine and Sherry have felt a little bit of pressure from, to be a certain way.
It's an understatement. Yeah, I really miss my dad. He understood me. She just criticized me all the time.
I'm really sorry to hear about passing your husband.
And I wouldn't say that your father understood you any more than I do. just because he would send you money while you were in jail sometimes doesn't mean that he understood you.
Boy, love me.
Doesn't mean I don't. You made your mistakes, and I would like for you to fix it, but what I'm trying to work on is your daughter, making sure that she doesn't follow in your same footsteps.
Okay.
I mean, this is the thing. I've been feeling this for years. It's like everything I do, I'm going to end up being like my mom. I just don't understand that. Why, my friends have parents, and yeah, they get in trouble sometimes, and maybe they step over the bounds and get disciplined and all that. But none of my other friends have to deal with this. It's like this constant fear that I'm going to turn out to be in jail or some drug addict when I'm just a normal kid, just like all my friends. And it's just all this extra pressure that's like, it's just, it's not me.
Mm-hmm.
I am my own person. And I just don't understand why, I just can't live my life without everybody thinking that I'm going to be like my mom and dad.
Terry, do you hear that Sherry feels like she's her own person?
And I understand that. I guess, that's what I want. I don't want to make her feel like you are your mother and it's inevitable.
A prisoner?
No, not a prisoner. But, it's hard for me not to. It's hard for me not to worry about that in the back of my mind. That's something I need to work on and, let Sherry feel more unique
Mm-hmm.
and, like you said, your own person rather than, what I've come to know.
So, sort of, what you're saying is that you do see maybe a need for you to treat your child and your grandchild as individuals, and it sounds like there's a need there from you guys both to feel
Less judged, maybe?
I just want to be, treated as myself and not living in somebody else's shadow. I get it. I've skipped school a couple times. I haven't always been honest with my grandma. These are, I won't, I could try to go to school more. I could try to be more honest, and I could be more careful, where I set my cup and make sure something like this doesn't happen again, so we don't have to do this anymore. Things can just go back to how they were before. And Mom, I'm just as weirded out by the fact that my mom is even here, because she was never a part of my life before, and now all of a sudden there's this other person, and I definitely don't want to be told what to do
mm-hmm.
by my mom. Not now. I don't even really know who you are.
So Sherry, you think you've mentioned a couple of things that you don't want to be in this, you don't want to do this again. You're thinking that just by monitoring your cup more that might prevent this from happening in the future. But also it seems like there's some other things that you're touching on, and that's your mother who's in the room that you're feeling sort of disconnected, you've been disconnected with. And your mother mentioned that she wants to, try to reconnect with you. I'm wondering how.
Yeah, I'm living in a halfway house, and I got to see my parole officer every damn day, just about. So I need a nice place to live. So.
I'm cool with going out for ice cream or something like that, but I don't need another person getting on my case. And I've always, of course, wanted to know more about my mom and my dad.
Mm-hmm.
It's not my fault that they really haven't been around. So, I'm okay with getting to, and even just calling you mom, this doesn't even feel right to me,
Mm-hmm.
because I think of my grandma as mom, even though I call her grandma. So the whole thing is just weird to have my mom's sort of back. I just expect that she's gonna be back in jail anyway in a couple of weeks, just like always, and then it'll just be Grandma and I anyway. And if we could just go back to the way that was before this whole festival thing, which wasn't my fault, then we wouldn't need to have therapy and everything would just be fine.
I just think it's interesting that you want to reconnect with your daughter. You can I would hope that you can see why she's so against just picking up where you never left off. Because every time you come around, you come for a night, you get some money out of me, and then we never see you again. And you're not there to see how I have to pick up the pieces.
I think that's a really interesting point. It's that, how maybe inadvertently we all affect each other, by us being present or absent. You mentioned picking up the pieces, like when you're here, or when you're not here, you pop in and out.
Well, my last stint here, I've been, in rehab, and I'm pretty clean. I don't know if I was, totally clean the last couple of times, so I feel more ready to stay and commit to my family. So, and you know what? Take me or leave me, because that's who I am.
I think I would be a little more open to it if Sherry wants that relationship. I mean, I think it's up to her. If she wants it, then I would say maybe given, that if you're sober for X amount of time, maybe it's a possibility.
Well, that's a given, because I have to do drug tests every week. So.
How do you feel about that?
I mean, I'm cool. I mean, maybe if we all three of us go to dinner or something a couple times, but I'm not going to no halfway house, or I just don't feel comfortable. I mean, I don't even really know you. I don't know who your friends are, or if you're a boyfriend or whatever. I wouldn't feel comfortable maybe hanging out alone. I mean, if you're really for real this time and you're not going to be in jail again, then maybe we could just, have dinner at Grandma's house once in a while and just see how things go. Just take it slow.
So it sounds like reunification is something that you guys might be interested in pursuing at a slow pace. And trust seems to be a topic that keeps coming up for you guys.
I mean, no matter what, she'll always be my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
But because of the lack of trust and, the cycle, the pattern that it's been, it's hard just to say, yeah, sure, let's go ahead and reconnect, because I don't want to see my granddaughter hurt.
See, there you go, harping again. I said I'm going to stay clean, so.
I just want to see it.
I told you I have a parole officer and a drug enforcement officer on my case. What else do you want to bug up my butt?
One of the presenting concerns here has been this issue with the festival and Sherry, but also your relationship with the family and sort of being in and out, and each of you are experiencing some issues of you're feeling distrustful of Cherie and her and her friends. You're feeling distrustful of your mother because of her issues with drugs. I'm wondering how that fits with you guys.
I think you just pretty much nailed it. I I want to trust my granddaughter, as much as possible, and hope that this is a one-time occurrence. But like I said, I am gonna try and treat it as such, and not with the history in the back of my mind.
I'm wondering how that feels to you. I mean, that's what you wanted from your grandmother, is for her to go back to the way things were with that.
Yeah, I mean, Grandma, I just want to be, you to just, I mean, all right, I know I should have called, and I admit that I haven't always been honest with skipping school and stuff, and that's totally my fault, and I can change that. But maybe if you just, I mean, I'm not 11 years old anymore. It's not like it was before. I'm 14. I need to have a life with my friends. It can't, just us hanging out and watching movies and everything we used to do before. I mean, I do miss that and everything, but like there's stuff going on with my friends in high school, and the fact that I know that you're always on my case about them almost makes me want to just not tell you when I'm hanging out with them. I mean, I don't know why, but I just feel like if you just gave me a little more freedom, and then it maybe would be easier for me to feel like I wouldn't have to lie to you, because I'm not really worried about you getting on my case about it. And if I thought you would just be more understanding about it, then maybe I wouldn't tell so many lies and stuff. But things, they can't go back to the way they were, because I'm in high school now, and I'm going to be moving out of the house when I'm 18 or whatever, and I need to, have a life of my own outside of our house. But I realize that I've screwed up before, and I haven't been truthful, so I can try if you can just maybe lighten up a little bit, give me a little bit more freedom, and give me another chance, and believe me when I tell you that that I wasn't just out getting wasted with my friends. That something happened and that was out of my control. Otherwise, I would have called you sooner.
And I can try as long as you're honest with me. That's all I ask.
Geraldine.
Well, I'm here for the taking. Like I said, I'm living in a halfway house. My parole officer's on my case. I need to get drug samples. So, like I said, take me or leave me. I mean, I want to connect with Sherry and build a relationship again with my mom. So I'm pretty much stuck, and I'm committed to not going back to prison and staying clean. So I'm on board, and then some.
Well, it's a
And I would appreciate support. I know I've been a piece of crap in the past, but it means a lot to me to have a family.
well, we talked a lot about relationships and reconnecting and trust, and it takes a lot of trust and forming relationships just to come in here and talk to me like you guys have so candidly about what you're experiencing. And I think you guys took a big step today in trusting one another to share your honest feelings with each other, and putting yourselves out there again, because you know what it's like to be hurt by one another. But taking the step to counseling is a step in the direction to healing. So next, if you guys have any questions or anything, I'd like to open that up about the process or anything we talked about today.
Well, how long do we have to do this?
How many
I mean,
sessions?
when can we just go back and deal with it ourselves?
So next week we could probably establish some goals, some clear-cut goals of what we would like to get from therapy, and work from there. And Anybody else?
I'm free. I'm gonna have to look for a job, but I'm pretty flexible with time.
I just want to thank you for, taking us on and trying to help us out.